Hi, we're here with Mark Gray of Gray Farms. He's just going to talk us through his farm and he's a couple of interesting bits and pieces of this setup. So
Hi Philip, so we're here down outside Prosperous. We're milking 97 cows currently on just under 150 acres. We are farming here since 1936. I'm a fourth generation farmer. My parents, myself, and we are involved in a partnership since 2015. I was always involved in the farm and the running of it before that, but in 2020 I really got heavily involved in it, and then we started to do upgrades of the facilities. Once we realised that I was going to come back, we did a huge upgrade here where we put in a 16 unit dual vac parlour from Alpha and a big cubicle shed there with 88 cows directly behind it. Our cows are predominantly Holstein Friesian. They're sort of sitting on the top of band B, second band, and we are aiming to sort of stay at that. We have 26 replacement heifers you see out here. Those guys are hopefully in the herd next year, and we're aiming to sort of, if we can climb to 110 cows we will, but it won't be any more than that with the way the nitrates are and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's kind of your plan going forward.
Yeah.
And you have another enterprise on farm.
Yeah. So separate to this, when we looked at doing all the upgrades to the facilities, we decided we'd try and hedge our bets and have with the volatility in the milk price, it was much easier to just say, look, we'll take a chance here with the milk vending. We saw Smiths and Dromiskin doing it, and they really it took off well for them, so we felt like we could do the same. My mother and father prided themselves on really high quality milk before I got involved, and I said, sure, let's try and get this direct to the consumer and get the margin out of it for ourselves. So we opened the doors to Gray's Dairy on the 7th of September last year, and we haven't really looked back. It's been great, super local support. Loads of people have really changed their whole habit of getting away from plastic and into the glass bottles, reusable,
sustainable again.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
and you're in a great location for it too.
Yeah, we're lucky like that. We've nearly 6,000 cars pass our gate every day, and we are just bowled over by the local support, and it's a good product. So we knew once we got people to taste it, they'd come back, and people started off, they'd buy one bottle, then they come back and they buy 3 bottles, and then before you knew where they had their 6 bottles, and they were just coming once or twice a week, so it worked out really well.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, we added the coffee then in just before Christmas, because we always manned it. We were hoping that it wouldn't be manned, but we realised then with just the volume of people coming that it needed to be someone there to help people if there was any trouble with the machine or anything like that. And like for payments and stuff like that, it was just a lot quicker for someone to have a single payment of 6 or whatever number of litres of milk.
Okay, very good. So it's evolving all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's brilliant. We'll just walk through, so then we'll have a look at the setup here.
Yeah. This is our original cubicle shed. It used to house 50 cubicles. This would have been where all our milking stock would have been, and the old milking parlour was over here. So the cows would have come out through where this barrier is here and straight across into the milking parlour. When we did up the facilities, we changed this, and we have all the sort of April calving ones here, and then behind it from here onwards we have our bull and heifers, the yearlings for the following year. Vincent came down actually when we were doing this job, and he gave us a measurement for this, and we reduced it, and I was sceptical enough. I thought the heifers would be turning in it and messing, and the place would be destroyed, but like, it's been an absolute gift of a job. We put 25 heifers in here in last October, and these were the stronger heifers, and I thought they'd go back a bit after sitting up on the cubicles, but they really pushed on, and they did better than the ones that were sitting out on the straw. So they'll all be going in onto this now this year. This cubicle shed, Vincent from O'Donovan's came down in 2011, and we went through a few different options. There used to be a wall between all that. Vincent said, pull all that wall over, he said, and put these bars and everything up, and like we've literally put them up the day that he dropped them out, and there hasn't been an issue with them since that day. They're just other than a tiny bit of rust here and there, they're as good as the day they were sat in. So we're delighted with how that turned out, and that's why there was no real going to anyone else when it came to the other shed. Vincent came out, did the measurements, and the whole setup was dropped out, and they just sat in like a Lego set.
Very good. Sure, we'll pop over to the other shed there now. So Mark's just going to take us through his new shed. He actually did a lot of the work himself here, so I'll let him talk through it.
Yeah, so we started this shed the first week in October, and we cut it all out on the ground, got a chap to weld it up first, and then it was just like a mechanical set. Got a big zero turn teleporter, and we stood it all in the week, and then came back then and we put fibre cement sheeting on the roof of it, as you can see there, with plenty of skylights. The plan at the time was to sheet the end of it, but time was against us, and then money ran out, so we went to the more important parts of it. We did the concrete then, the bases, and we put the patterns on the floor. That's been a super job for the cows.
It's good grip, like
it's a super job now, so I'd recommend anyone doing it. We then got Vincent out once we had the two end walls up, and he gave us a measurement from this wall here to you'll see the other internal wall, and that worked out exactly then for 22 cubicles. So we've 88 cubicles in this shed at the moment, and the cows, it is a bit breezy obviously, they definitely won't get sick in it, but the comfort here is phenomenal, and we have a divider that we can put in between the cubicles when we split the shed during the winter time.
Okay, very good.
The cubicle divider up there as well. Vincent supplied everything from the cubicles to the roll-out mats, all like it was literally.
And I suppose just take us through the process. You were standing in the sheds, you stood the RSJs, and then Vincent came in. Was that the kind of?
Yeah, we stood the shed, and we actually put up the far end wall and this wall here, and then Vincent he gave us a measurement for the internal wall, and that gave us then the exact measurement to work for even cubicles, exactly the same spacings, 44 inches. He had been out to us before and seen the plans and everything, but he said just when you have it up, I'll spin down.
So he has a stop point and a start point.
Exactly, yeah. It just gives him a point that there was no cubicle. There was a bit smaller, because the cows straight away, like our cows are Holstein Friesian cows, to be fairly sizey sort of animals, a lot of them. So we just didn't want hassle with one getting trapped or something getting into a cubicle that wasn't the right size.
100%, yeah. So no, it's better to do it right once than.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he gave us a couple of tips, like on the likes of the height of the wall. He gave us all that side of things, the barriers. He just measured them up there, and then they were just literally slot them into place, bolt them on, and we were ready to go. We had this shed. We had the shed ready on the 16th of December. So, and we had started on the first week in October. It was a quick turnaround. The cows and the heifers were standing out waiting to get in, to be honest now. But yeah, it's turned out really, really well. We got the 3 automatic scrapers in from Alfco. They've again done a super job. Like this shed is literally, you come out and
you went with about an 8-inch curb here, is it, for the scraper?
It's an 8-inch curb, correct. That's exactly what it is. And Vincent gave us, and I don't know off my hand, the measurement from this point here to the rail here, and it's been just absolutely perfect. Out of the 88 cubicles, I might come out with the scraper and I'd have to clean off maybe 4 or 5, and that'd be it. Like
and they're probably the smaller cows in the herd or whatever.
Exactly, and the smaller heifers. The cleanliness has been just, it's been a big
that's what we always say with the continuous mat, is there's nothing can go down in between it, there's very little can get under it,
That's exactly it. We've had no trouble with it whatsoever, and it's just so easy to keep clean. And just we line them twice a day when the cows are out in the milking parlour, and it's been a dream compared to what we were used to in the other sheds. Like, it's 10 minutes has the cubicles cleaned off and them lined and ready to go. Like, it's the cows took a little bit of time getting used to the automatic scrapers, but we found the little step up here for their front legs was a super job.
Doing the 2-inch curve or the 2-foot curve at the front.
Exactly. That was another thing Vincent said to us to do as well. So yeah, the involvement of Donovan Engineering has been a vital part of the whole system.
It's timing. It's talking to us at the right time, so we'll give you the right ideas and measurements and stuff before you go at it, because sometimes people come and they've already done it, and then we're trying to fix it from there on, rather than
exactly. And it's just so much quicker, and when things just like this was just landed out to us, and with an instruction, and it was just a mechanics that went together, and like I thought it was going to take us 3 or 4 days, like, but we had it done in 2 days max, I'd say.
Just good going.
Yeah.
You get a job here quick.
The cows were standing waiting for us to get in, so we had to push on at it.
Yeah.
But it's been great.
Very good. Do you want to take us through the parlour as well? So you've done the new parlour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose you also stood this shed, and then
so we started this shed. We dug out the tank, which is at the very start of the handling area. That was the first thing we did, and we did that in the end of June 2022. I joked with the chap that gave me a hand, because I said to him, "I need you for 3 or 4 weeks there, Jason," and he says, "Oh, grand, yeah." And sure, he was there 9 months later finishing off the rest of the job. But anyway, in the meantime, his sons came and gave us a hand for the whole of the summer, Finton and Murray, and it was a big loss when they went back to school now. But we started here anyway. So this is a 16-unit Delaval parlour. I put a pit in for 20 units in case we decided to extend it, and we have everything in it except the units and the vacuum line to come on out if we were to do that. It has automatic gates through the air. It has ACR, dual vac. It runs off 3-phase. We have a 2-inch slope from this point to the drain. The drain runs both sides down along and into the holding tank there. That's been like, it was a lot of work doing it at the start, and it took a bit of extra time, but it's so quick to wash the whole place down, and it's easy for the cows as well. Like, you just, if there's a bit of dung or muck, you just washes away in a flash. Like, it's less water used. The grip we use is like it's actually, we saw it on the farm here in Port Leash. It's just a stipple roller, and again, it takes a bit of time. We put actually dye in the whole mix. Hamlin Concrete were very good, and they allowed us to put it into the bottle. So it's right.
So you actually contacted them?
Yeah, we got, like, we worked with Hamlin Concrete closely since the end of June that year. Like, and by the time we were finished, we nearly had bought 500 meters of concrete off them. So they were. So they were accommodating for that. In fairness to Luke and them, they helped us out a lot on that side of things, because it's been great. Like, there's no wear really on it yet at all, and it's a year old. This here then, so we have 2 tanks here, 2 separate tanks. One takes the washings off all the dairy, and the pasteurizer system is behind this wall as well. That takes all the washings off that as well. And then the other tank then takes all the slop from here. It goes into this tank here, so we only have a few weeks in which we can spread out on one of these. That's probably going to change again in the near future. But then there's a channel the whole way down along, and that channel then is where the cows come out. They walk out through here, and they're on pretty much on slats 90% of the time, easy to wash down. We've allowed a space here for the drafter. It was supposed to be in the phase to be finished, but unfortunately it had to be cut out when costs ran a bit above where they should be.
You were building in 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
so
just
it was,
every week material was rising, unfortunately. Yeah, and then they just come out through here when they're milked, and they either go straight across and into the cubicle shed or out and down the fields here. Yeah.
Very good. So you put in a handling system and
Again,
you have a holding pen then ready for a drafter.
Exactly. We've 2 holding pens there for the drafter when we want, and there's also Vincent put in a walkway for the cows when we're doing a foot bath or anything like that, which we've been using a good bit already, as you can see.
Yeah. And how are you finding the 360-degree gate at the start?
It's absolutely phenomenal. So we hadn't got it in right at the start, and when the cows came out and down, they would clutter a little bit when they came out onto the slats, but now it's just a flow out. There's no issue whatsoever with the 360 gate. Also, when we're bringing the younger stock in, it's just super. We just run them down into here, close the gates behind them, and sometimes some of them are back up along the crush and ready for handling before we even have them closed in down below.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best safety features you can put in, because you're always behind the gate working the animals.
Yeah. And there's lock-in points the whole way around. It's like 2 hands of a clock. That's the way I sort of describe it. It's so easy to handle the animals, and it's stressless for them as well, because they can sort of see where they're going the whole time. There isn't corners for them to catch themselves in, and like the whole design of that, again, we did that after we had the cubicle shed standing, so we did, and the cows were in there, so it was concentrating on this then. And Vincent, again, he had to just literally from wall to wall, he gave us all the measurements for everything, and an A4 sheet came down that was laminated and we just followed suit with all the drawings, and it worked down to a fine art. It's working away, not a bother to us now, and it's easy on man and on beast, so that's the main thing.
Jesus, you're well talking your way into a job here. Your fitting has been spot on.
Hopefully now, yeah.